Okay, now we're live on my phone because everything is messed up and my lens is dirty, so let me wipe it off. So basically what has happened is YouTube changed a bunch of stuff. Ooh, hold on a minute. I need to send the other stream link to you guys. Give me just a second. This is a mess, isn't it, guys?
Could be worse.
I know, it could be way worse.
We could have dial-up internet. How fun would that be?
All right, there we go. Okay, hopefully everybody in the old chat can see it. Hey, Nate, can you pop into my YouTube just channel and just repost that link over and over, redirecting everybody like from the old video? Yay, it worked. Okay, so it worked. However, a big part of our trends videos is us screen sharing the trends. And YouTube changed everything yesterday. So we're going to go over the freebie cheat sheets. I'm going to paste those into the chat and I'm going to paste them into the new video. So give me just a second, guys. So this is the first time that I think we've ever had a tech error like this. The first time ever. But we'll get through it together. Let's see. Let me put this into the page for you. Okay. There we go. Do you guys like my thumbnail for this video? All right, refresh your video real quick. I'll wait. Refresh it, and then you'll have access to the freebies. Refreshing. Refreshing. Waiting for you to refresh your page. Refreshing. Refreshing. Did everybody refresh and get the cheat sheets? Okay. Assuming that you guys got the cheat sheets, let me pull this up so I can also see your chat. Starla Moore is live now. Mark's trying to get it figured out. There's 2 upcoming live streams that say fall, autumn product lines now, and neither of them are active. All right, guys. So if you went down below and you downloaded the freebies that are in both video descriptions, I think I have one of her courses. LOL, I'm so lost. You have one of whose courses? I got the cheat sheets. Very helpful. Okay, so these are the cheat sheets that you can grab down below. Ooh, aren't they pretty? They're free. Download them. I'll post them in the chat for you guys to copy and paste. There you go. Grab those. Go download them. It only takes a second, and then you guys can follow along with us, okay? And Nate is also in the chat. Nate, you can come over here while Mark is trying to... Okay. All right, so these are your cheat sheets. The first thing that I really wanted to put on the autumn cheat sheets was all these really cool facts that we've gotten from Etsy. A lot of these are from last year, but usually I can't figure out how to get them on my phone and still watch. You probably won't be able to get them on your phone and still watch, but that's okay. Download them afterwards. You don't have to follow along. It's not like anything that you need to fill out. Just stick with us. Etsy has revealed that in recent years there are more Halloween related searches for Mother's Day or Father's Day on Etsy. So what does that mean for you guys? It means that you need to make sure that if you're planning to release any autumn or Halloween product lines, that is done this month at the very latest. Technically last month would have been a great month. And I know that I'm gonna have a lot of alphas ask me, Starla, why aren't you releasing yours until September? Mine will sell out the second I release it. So if I release my Halloween collection in August and it all sells out, that means that I'm going to have a complete stall until I release my holiday line. So I like to stretch mine out a little bit later because I know that my products are all going to sell out the second that they list. But for you guys, since assuming that you're going to need a little bit of time to market, you're going to need a little bit of time to put yourself out there, you need to get those product lines done as soon as possible. We've said that for the last 5 live streams, I think, and now it's getting to the point where there's not going to be a whole lot of time for you guys. There are over 123,000 search results for Halloween decor on Etsy. Now, if you guys are wondering, let's see. Halloween gets more searches because Mother's Day is different UK, US. Yeah, and that too. That's also a big thing too, but Halloween also isn't as popular in other countries, I've noticed. I noticed that we have a lot of alphas who are in Australia and they say that nobody like in their area decorates at all. So, but if you guys want to start getting some insights into what people are searching for, I highly recommend, even if you only need it for the holiday season, you guys will fall in love with it. Get the $10 a month eRank Pro membership. I'm not just saying that because I love Anthony. We are not, I do not get commission for recommending eRank. However, what you are able to do is so amazing that I can't not shout it out. So with the trend report, the trend buzz, you can go in and see what people were searching this time last year and September of last year and October of last year, when people are actually, these are things that will not go away. These are trends that will be repetitive. You heard eRank and you're like, oh, I should yes, sit here.
So in case there's anybody that hasn't heard of the Trend Buzz, it's a great report. We've spent a lot of money and time researching how to put it together for you. And we just updated the report. So now it reflects all of July's top search results. And you're going to be able to get a really good taste for what's in store in August and leading into the holiday months. eRank is actually about to start a little campaign where we're going to start asking folks what they're doing to get ready for their shop week over week for the holiday season. Right now is the best time for you to be researching trends. So you really need to make sure that if you don't have eRank, that you have some type of a tool or some type of a system in place to where you can do the research necessary, because your tags, your keywords, everything related to SEO is all going to pull back to those trends, right? So if you can get on top of that now, you're going to be well ahead of your competition and you're going to be in a great position to have a great holiday season.
And why shouldn't they guess? Why do you think that they shouldn't try to guess
Do businesses like Apple, do they just guess what the popular colors are going to be or something like that? No, and this goes into your product. This goes into your product marketing. This goes into how your business is as a whole is going to run. Trends are so important because it gives you insight into what buyers are thinking, what they're looking for. The more you know about a customer, the better chance you have of converting them, right? So having that insider information, having the ability to see what people make in terms of decisions, both psychologically, which is something that Starla talks about a lot, and also with things like trends, you're in a really good position to have a good holiday season, but you have to start doing the research now. She keeps beating everybody over the head with it, telling you to get on it, and we're almost to a point where if you don't do it now, it's going to be too late.
Right.
So
one person asked, how do you get eRank? I have put, it's erank.com, but for the particular tool that we're talking about, you have to have a pro membership. However, if for any reason you can't afford the $10 a month, there are still a lot of great keyword resources.
Yes.
If you want to improve your SEO and kind of just, test your feet in the water, you do have that opportunity. However, in terms of the tool that we're talking about and for holiday prep, I highly recommend, even if you only keep it through the holidays, get Pro for $10 a month. That way you can really, really dig into the raw research that you're going to need in order to get keywords that people are actually shopping for the holidays. And then Kristen said that's the Trend Buzz report.
That's the Trend Buzz report. And so always be checking that back. You get to see the top 100 searches in each of the categories. Anthony has put a lot of time with our developer team sorting all the data, so all of the categories are extremely accurate now. There's an 18 and up adult category even now, so you can check that out.
Yeah, that was just added.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really good stuff out there. The other thing too is Starla goes through and checks out things like Target, and then she goes to Pantone. There's a lot of great resources out there. It's also, not just eRank.
Right. Normally what I do is I screen share those with you today, but I think what I'll do instead is tell you where you can find them, and it'll make things a little bit easier. Yay for 18 and up. All right. So there were, let's see, where am I? Okay, there were over 172,000 results for Halloween costumes on Etsy, and that's going to be huge if you create anything that could go with a costume. Makeup, we'll say maybe even funky nail polish colors, all of that could be used in tags and in your titles for Halloween costume. And then after Halloween, you can remove those tags, maybe change them to stocking stuffer. Searches related to true crime and crime scene themed decor and party supplies increased 148% in 2018 compared to 2017. Were there any specific like shows that could have triggered that? Because like when The Walking Dead was out, there
Yeah.
were big like zombie parties.
Yeah, I think the whole Strangers thing.
Stranger Things.
Strangers thing.
But they're doing like thumbprint and like crime scene tape and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I think slime is also randomly. It's still a huge search term.
It's starting to. Didn't it go into movers and shakers?
Kinda, yeah, but it's still like one of the top results, which I think is crazy because it's been that way for like 8 months now.
There's a huge like viral market for like kids who are super into it. All right, in September of 2018, the term Halloween was the most searched keyword typed in by shoppers with 269,021 searches. So that's Halloween on its own.
That's a lot of searches. That should tell you guys out there that are like worried about Etsy as a platform or a business that like it is definitely alive and well.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, guys, Halloween, like if you guys are doing your keywords for your tags and titles, Halloween by itself, you can put that with maybe Halloween costume and it still counts as Halloween. So if you know that Halloween is an in-demand keyword, adding another item in there to make it a long tail keyword is not taking any like power away from Halloween standing on its own. Let's see, is it trendy? Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead is usually always trendy. Sugar skulls and things.
Yeah, I would say as a rule of thumb, any of the major holidays from around the world, those are all going to be things that there's going to be at least a little pocket, a little niche of people that are wanting to buy specifically for that. And you get those same people that will come back each and every year. So it might actually do you some good to take a look at Starla's calendar that she's created. I know that she highlights some really important days.
And that's also that. Oh, wait, that one's not down below in this video.
We can find you a link, but there's a great resource that she's put together that I actually have used myself a lot of times to help E-rank. But it's a really good idea to just have a roadmap for yourself. So that way, if your products can kind of change from season to season, then you'll kind of know what the big holidays and big events are for that year. E-rank also on the dashboard page on the bottom right-hand side, they actually will tell you all over, like no matter where it's at in the world, what the like popular day is of that day. Like I think 2 or 3 days ago, we had Friendship Day. You know, that's not something you'd see on a normal calendar, but that doesn't mean that there aren't folks out there that wouldn't want to buy something for that day, right? So
but I'll go ahead and put the calendars in the chat. Go ahead and grab those if you don't have the calendars either. So 2 freebies. I really like this fact. According to the erank.com TrendBuzz tool, Etsy shoppers began searching for autumn and Halloween themed items as early as August. Guess what month it is?
August.
It's August, and I sold my first Halloween related item last month. Yep. So I sold a pumpkin key.
And if folks are already searching for Halloween in August, what does that tell you about what to expect for when people start searching for actual like Christmas, New Year's, that sort of thing? When do you think they're going to start looking for that stuff? It's right now. So again, it's extremely important that you guys take the time right now to do that good research, that good SEO research, so that way you can know exactly what keywords to use, what tags to start looking for, and then also like if you have a line of products that maybe you've been thinking about releasing, it might be good to start marketing that now rather than waiting, another month or so, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So next page is just some ideas on how to get in the mood for Halloween. I know that this was more applicable during the summer when it's really hard to think about Halloween, same as it's probably hard to think about Christmas product lines right now. So my suggestion is always throw on some Christmas music, watch a Christmas movie. Usually it'll be enough to get your head in that atmosphere so you can start thinking of new product ideas. But that's a little list that you guys can go over. Not something I think we need to read off today. However, emerging autumn trends. This is a fun one. I used eRank looking at some of the things that were popular last year, as well as some items that I knew were popular last year on major sites like Target.com, which is ultimately my number one suggestion when looking at trends. Type in Halloween on Target, and there's a lot of great ideas. But we have rustic decor. Pet costumes are always going to be big. Witchcraft and tarot cards this year.
Tarot cards, there you go.
And the old school neon sign, like palm reading, is coming back. Like in clothing, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it in... They're going to yell at you for a plastic straw.
I know, it's okay.
They're going to yell at you, Nate. That's okay. We recycle, guys. We recycle. Let's see. Dragons. And dragons were big last Halloween, too. I don't know if it's Game of Thrones? Or
Oh, it absolutely is.
yeah, even though it's
Yeah.
over though?
Yeah.
Do you think that Game of Thrones Halloween costumes are still going to be like a big thing this year, even though
For
it's for sure? Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I would say right now any of those like sci-fi niches or like those like medieval niches, the Halloween themed niches, you're seeing a lot more of that now than you did last year or the year before last, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean to make like Game of Thrones products because you'll get in trouble for that. Trust me, you will. Don't just because people do it does it just means that they haven't gotten in trouble yet. Don't do that. But themes that go along with that, like wolves and dragons, those are themes that are still going to be very, very popular. So.
Yeah, and if you can find a way to like take what Game of Thrones has done in terms of branding and imagery and use it as inspiration to sort of rework some of your own products, some of your own branding and imagery, fantastic. That just means people are going to associate with it much faster. And I feel like you'll have a better chance at converting people into actual buyers, especially if you offer the free shipping thing, right?
And then let's see, Halloween yard decorations, obviously, but glass pumpkins in particular, like clear glass, blown glass,
like actual
pumpkins.
like glass blown, like the
Yeah.
high-end stuff.
Yeah, like blown glass pumpkins. So, and I believe we have some glass blowing alphas who might.
Oh, we have to have at least a few, right?
Yeah, so glass.
Drop us a
pumpkins.
comment. Let us know if you guys are into glass blowing and if you've seen
Lamp work.
lamp work. If you've seen like a rise in your sales over the past year, because that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and then candles. Everybody knows candles are one of those things that everybody buys, but right now, like candles are huge everywhere. So really think about the type of smells that people are going to want and maybe try to do something that isn't as common. Like everybody's going to have pumpkin. What if you did like pumpkin and candy corn? You know, there are really cool combinations that you could make that nobody else is doing.
Yep.
Wreaths, always big. Moonstones are huge in terms of actual stones. I'm noticing that moonstones are really, really trendy right now, especially on Etsy in particular. Neon signs are really big right now, just the old school, like glowy neon signs. Crime scene parties, adult Halloween parties, so lots of things with alcohol involved. Anyway, they're like booze.
Mhm.
I've seen like lots of like little decanters.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think like shot glasses, any of that like college-esque like party stuff. That
And
always
probably
has to
wine
be.
glasses too for like the moms who want to get together and have like a Halloween party.
I'm sure there's plenty in the group chat.
Yeah,
right now.
would you guys have an adult like Halloween party where you just drank wine and ate snacks and watched horror movies? Let us know. Psychics and palm reading. Let's see. Halloween Village miniatures. So do you know like fairy gardens, how they got real big for
Oh yeah, and with all of the
little bitty little-
the little like not Smurfs, but the little not
Gnomes.
elves, gnomes. No, I couldn't remember that. Gnomes. Yes.
gnomes. You don't have a kid, so it probably wasn't like one of those things that you noticed as much,
Probably
but
not.
with us it was like Taylor all the time, Mommy, I'm gonna do a fairy garden. So we finally broke down and made a fairy garden, and it's completely overgrown now.
Look at
but
this. So is it Bronwyn?
yes.
I'll use Halloween to sit and drink wine and eat snacks. Amber asks, "What is cranapple?" You should research that. It's really good. I have.
Cranberry and apple.
It's fantastic. It's like it's like peanut butter and chocolate. They go together.
Yeah.
Right?
If you don't like the bitter bite of like cranberry juice, cran apple takes away the bitter bite because it mixes with apple juice.
Colleen Seeds, she says she does fused glass.
That's
That's pretty cool. Have you gotten any like
pumpkin requests.
or like Halloween themed requests this year that you haven't seen last year? Let us know.
Let's see. Cool. I'm a pet psychic on Etsy. There you go. You're about to trend.
Literally.
So Halloween Village miniatures, like little haunted houses and things that people can put in their fairy gardens, and then printable party games. So, like bingo.
Bingo.
What? I don't know.
Chinese checkers.
Pin the tail on the donkey.
We'll,
Pin the toilet paper on the mummy. I don't know. But printed party games, I think that's one where you guys would need to get creative if that's your thing. Think of some funny party games, maybe drinking games.
Mhm.
That would be a
Drinking
good one.
games.
Or do some kids games. That might be where you do bingo. When are you not excited at, Cynthia? Oh yeah, Cynthia started a new shop. She is a Handmade Alpha Academy student. and she did make blankets, but now she's doing more of like a psychic witchy vibe on her channel.
Does she still have the other shop?
Pin the arm on the zombie. I'm not sure. Cynthia's other shop was very successful, but did you end up closing it, Cynthia? Let us know. All right, so I want to pull up Target.com real quick and let you know exactly where to navigate. On Target in the top left corner, there is a tab called Trending, and then there's one that says hashtag Target Style. That's going to show you different choreographed homes, but it's mostly clothing. And the reason that we're not going to cover clothing a lot today is all of the color trends that we talked about in our summer trends video are still trending. The fall trends for clothing probably aren't going to come out as much. Thankfully, Nate is pretty obsessive when it comes to like trending clothes.
Oh, yeah.
So he should be able to, you know, kind of bounce off of some of the ideas that I already had. Can you grab that notebook?
Oh, sure.
Or his, yeah. So far for clothing, what we've noticed, and you can see all of these kind of mirrored if you go to that Target style board, which we would share with you, but we can't screen share right now. Denim jackets, you want to talk about that since that's your thing?
Well, denim jackets have always been like a staple in both men and women wardrobes. It's one of those items that like it's pretty unisex. But I think you're starting to see denim jackets come back in a really strong wave.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lots and lots of like different colors of denim. I think that's really big too. Like all of the different stone washes, the real like pure white washes that you're seeing from like the 80s and 90s, those are starting to come back. The oversized fits, the real vintage Levi's trucker jackets. Everybody has one now. Like even if you go into like, I don't know, the Gap, they even have like an oversized trucker jacket. So, but it's those really like bright, bold, like soft denim colors, like the really light blues and things like that. Those are all really big right now.
So here's a question. If one of our alphas, will say that they are trying to do like a 90s theme collection and they make handbags, do you think it might be an intelligent idea for them to go find some high quality, like use like maybe just some denim that can't be, you know, fixed into a jacket or anything, but they use that fabric to recreate like a handbag in that particular denim?
If you can find yourself some good quality denim that's like aged or vintage and you want to like craft that into product and then turn around and flip it and say that like, hey, this is like, you know, from this X like old fabric that was found in like the 90s or something, that would be really cool. That's a niche for sure, but it's one of those things like you'd be surprised how much money people are willing to pay for that kind of vintage-esque stuff. It's huge in the clothing market.
Do you see Debbie's comment?
Deb, he's young and overworked. I don't know about that, Deb. You're the one that's overworked.
Debbie's in the comments defending Nate. Let's see. This is from the old video. She said that in the old video, and I pulled it up. No, I'm just stupid apparently.
Technical difficulties, everyone. And I hope this is a good example of like when you own a business and some sort of technology challenge happens,
just keep on going.
You just overcome it and keep on going. And people like you guys, you understand and you're extremely like, I don't know, patient with us. So thanks for that.
It's the plan, adapt, evolve that we talk about in Handmade Alpha Academy. Light denim in particular is what I'm noticing the most of in terms of jeans, jackets, like light faded denim. I prefer black denim. You know, I just bought that black denim jacket.
You've always had that like goth kind of
You're
aesthetic.
only saying that today because I'm dressed like in black. I was in a little dress with lemons yesterday for our event with Renee Christine that we did that you guys probably don't know about, but basics.
Yeah, basics are always huge, but there has been a move in the last couple of years towards minimalism. If you search the word minimalism on YouTube, you'll find a ton of content. If you go to Instagram and you search the hashtag minimalism, you'll find a ton of content. It is huge. So clothing brands have kind of snagged on this, and so they offer basically the same stuff they've always done, just again in different sized fits, like oversized from the 90s is coming back, but then just like real solid colors, no logos, no embroideries, no imagery, just plain solids. Like you can't tell where you shop at by just looking at the clothing itself. That's really big.
Yeah. He always comes over with just a plain t-shirt on, like a plain normal t-shirt. He's like, "Do you like my shirt?" I'm like, "Wow, it's blue. It's blue. It's great." He's like, "I paid $150 for it." I'm like,
"That's for the
great.
Fit. That's for the fit.
It's blue.
It's blue.
It's perfect." Let's see. Mom pants.
Oh yeah.
Mom
yeah.
pants and dad shoes.
Dad shoes. Yeah, I would
Dad
say.
shoes and mom pants.
Yeah, look at Balenciaga. They've been able to create, I think, the world's ugliest shoe in the world called the Triple S, and it retails, I believe, for like $750, and it looks worse than one of those like pure white Reebok shoes that you would see your dad outside mowing the grass in. Way worse than that. But somehow they've like, oh, I'm sorry, 950. But Balenciaga has like
I'll put it in
taken the silliness and the meme level of like the trend of wearing dad shoes and being kind of ridiculous looking on purpose, and they've added like a luxury twist, and they're able to sell a product.
Do you buy these dirty?
Yeah, you buy them dirty.
You buy them dirty.
Yeah, but these are the shoes right now like that everybody on the internet wants. It used to be Kanye West and the Yeezys, and it's totally moved over to that.
Oh,
yeah, let's go ahead and remove that.
Danny, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of you. Oh, super ugly butt shoes. You can show that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but there are a lot of kids out there, 16-year-old kids that want their parents to spend $950 on those shoes right now. So,
and they're dirty.
Yeah. Saint Laurent also does this. They have a clean white sneaker that sells for about $600, and it's ripped in the backs. So I think you can only get about 6 months out of the shoe, and then it actually will like fall apart on you. But that's
how much are they?
Like $650. But it's the thing of like trying to be ridiculous on purpose and spending a lot of money to do it. And it's like then you walk around looking ridiculous, and then apparently the idea is people who are in the know that you spent the like $1,000 to get that look, which is, it's stupid, but that's what people do. These are what consumers are spending money on now.
So can I sell my husband's worn out shoes?
Yeah, you could. And honestly, if you market them properly, I'm sure you could sell them for a pretty high price.
Yeah, for real. So, but that was dad's shoes, mom pants.
Mom pants.
Do you guys know what mom pants are? They're a little bit.
Yes, they do.
There's like, they're tight on the butt, baggy, like a little bit baggy under the butt. Real denim, not that stretchy, like cheap stuff that you buy in the junior section, and high rise. So those are about all the elements of like good mom pants.
But they and the high-waisted stuff too. That's
high-waisted
really
pants,
come back.
yeah. But you guys keep in mind that things like this could be a cute idea. Like if you make greeting cards, you know, it could be characters that you draw. If you want those characters to be trendy.
Exactly.
It
might be something to think about, you know, keep it up with the times. And if you find some sort of funny looking trend and you think it's silly and want to make fun of it, it's a great way of just like seizing on it for marketing. Right? Vanessa
said mom pants only look good on skinny young people. I don't think that's true, actually. Go to Target style. Go to target.com, go into the trending tab, and then click on the hashtag Target style. And there are some great examples. I like Target because they pull these images straight from Instagram, I believe. Like they choreograph them, they hand pick them, but they pick like really great images. And there are seriously all different like body types.
Yeah,
there's pregnancy photos.
And that's what's nice is being able to, because most of these, like when you go to a site and you search for trends and stuff, a lot of the photos are curated to create a certain look. And I like how Target will just pick random photos out. Like they're still kind of relevant to each other, but you for sure aren't just
they're real user photos.
Yeah, and you're not just going to see like really skinny models because that's not what everyone looks like. So you get an actual idea of what real people are going to look like wearing this stuff. So,
and here's a little fun fact that I have for you guys about high-waisted versus low-waisted. There's like a reason that muffin tops didn't exist in the 70s, right? Like muffin tops didn't exist in the 70s because people weren't wearing their pants so low. It's more comfortable. All right, thin horizontal stripes, like the bubblegum package stripes.
Yeah, it's 50s, I think. 50s, 60s, somewhere
70s,
around there.
Definitely 70s. Thin horizontal stripes and kind of that off-white and the terracotta.
Yep.
And
plaids.
And plaids and bold vertical stripes.
Yeah.
Horizontal, for those who don't know, horizontal, vertical. Bold vertical, thin horizontal stripes. Long skirts and dresses. We're out of like mini skirts and we're getting back like to the kind of like classy, almost like 50s style, I would say is really big right now.
Yep.
And the layered skirts and animal prints. Animal prints are huge. Plaid is huge this year. I know. I'm so excited for
Yeah,
fall.
Amber Marie, animal prints.
Animal prints, not animal prints, like animal print.
I know, but people
Cheetah
like animal
spots.
stuff. Not just on their clothing, on all of their stuff.
People like animal stuff. Facts from Nate. People like animal stuff.
Yes, they do.
So other themes, back to school is going to be big. Start thinking about kids. Start thinking about pencil boxes and backpacks and enamel pins. Those are trending right now. Kids are going to want to put them on their backpacks. Buttons, back to school clothing, bags, locker decor, maybe book covers. Is that something that you could make?
Yeah, I mean,
There's like
obviously we know back to school is huge, and we haven't talked about that a whole lot, but I think a lot of people like to, when they're shopping for back to school, they like to keep things on trend. And, you know, so I don't know if there's any, if we have
kids,
like any,
especially.
absolutely, if we
Yeah.
have anybody that sells like book bags, custom book bags or anything like that, but might be a good idea to start paying attention to these kinds of trends right now, because if you make products that are specific for a certain demographic or a certain age range, and you know what like kids are wanting on their stuff, they're gonna buy it.
And make sure that you're really researching those age ranges,
Yeah.
because one school year can be the difference between kids being into this
Yep.
and kids thinking that's stupid.
And that's very important. I think it would take somebody like a mom to actually say that, because I would never think of it like that. Like when you go from like 7th to 8th, or I'm sorry, from like 5th to 6th grade, or from 8th to 9th grade, your tastes change like crazy, right? So if you have products that can keep up with that, that's perfect.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of different YouTubers that you can watch. Like, watch the YouTubers that your kids are watching. That's what I do with Taylor. She's 7, but she really likes all the toy reviews. I just go through her search history and use that to look for Christmas presents.
That's smart, man.
Yep, I just look at what she's been watching. She's
Smart
got like the
stuff.
kids version of YouTube on her little kids tablet. Dorm decor, that's another one. Think about
Oh,
older
yeah.
kids. Think
Mhm.
about the colors that are trending right now, like the neutrals, the grays, the whites, the touch of gold, which we
Mhm.
talked about in the summer trends video. And think about how these kids who are moving into dorms want to make their dorm feel like their own little living room. They don't want it. I feel like dorms now are moving away from having like movie posters and like, you know, empty cups everywhere, and they're moving towards like a little living room.
At Miami, nobody that I like hung out with in dorms like had any posters up on their wall. It was all like really cool, sort of like, you know how I have that photo in my office that's a picture of Atlanta, but it's like a
Yeah.
little blown up fancy looking picture. I think those types of imagery, that's more what kids might, I guess not my age anymore, but a couple years ago, that's what we were going for. It was more of that like city, like views, map of the world, that kind of stuff. That's what you saw in dorm rooms, at least when I was going. Space, yeah, space theme is huge.
Space paintings. There's so many space. Did you guys watch the video of me painting some space? There's some more space over in the corner, because I had some practice runs. But space is also trending right now. I saw that in some. It was in the Target trending under. Oh, of course, I scrolled for an infinity here. Under Target finds, I believe, which is another really good one to scroll through. Just most of these right now are still catered to summer. What I recommend doing is actually going to target.com, typing in Halloween and autumn, and you'll be able to find a lot of great ideas. Cactuses are huge in prints. I'm noticing a lot of like dudes like just nice button-ups with the itty-bitty little cactus prints.
Yeah, you'll see brands
Little
like
flamingos.
J. Crew. You know, that's kind of like a staple brand at this point. They do a lot of those like really colorful and playful prints. I went to a university where there's a lot of like preppy kids, so that like wearing button downs and with like bright colored shorts and stuff, that was really popular, and all of those kids would constantly wear, like, they would have little anchors or little, I don't know, flamingo, just silly little designs all over their shirts. But yeah, that was huge.
Buttonux. Amber. Buttonux.
I don't get that.
What? I think we missed something up above. Succulents. Yeah, succulents are still big right now.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to be pasting in the specific Halloween section of Target. If you guys are on your phone, you're probably not going to be able to open it, but if you're on desktop, open it into a new tab by right-clicking. And I noticed that there's a lot of really cool ideas. Pumpkin parlor decor, pumpkin parlor party, ghoulish garden, which is all like carnivorous plants, like Little Shop of Horrors carnivorous plants. So that might be a fun thing to consider. I'm noticing a lot of these like neon lights, like black light parties.
Oh yeah, blacklight's huge. Hey Maureen, I saw your question. Yes, I did go to Miami of Ohio, not
What?
University of Miami in Florida. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, Miami, Florida. And harvest decor, which usually stays pretty consistent. But I'm noticing, like, did you see that pumpkin with the houndstooth pattern on it?
Oh yeah, houndstooth that's a big one.
That might be another one to keep note of.
See, man, every time I go to Target and I start seeing all these handmade looking items, I'm just like, why are they even trying to sell things?
You know, they got, okay, so you may have noticed them, but I have 3 small bottle-shaped candles with skeleton keys on them. They used to be in the small dresser in the hallway, but now they're in our bedroom. They're made out of beeswax. I bought those from an Etsy shop who Target bought some of their candles and basically used their designs to create candles that weren't really beeswax. And yeah,
all the time. And just think of how many people go into Target or TJ Maxx and they're buying this crap, you know?
yeah,
It
it's not handmade. It's meant to
No.
look handmade, and it's cheap.
Fake
and,
handmade, like. I don't get
But Target's great for doing research, and I shop at Target too. So I just don't buy things that I know that people that I like on Etsy create, because ultimately when it comes to Target stuff, it's all just kind of glued together in a factory, and it's
Mhm.
probably going to fall apart in like a year.
Mhm.
So let's see. Foxes. Yes. Foxes are always trending in the fall around Halloween. We try to not repeat like the obvious, like foxes, pumpkins, owls, ghosts, spiders. Those are all like the obvious things. This is all new stuff to me. Be sure. I heard buttonups and did not know what you were talking about.
Button ups. She thought I said button ups instead of button ups. I must have a weird accent or something.
Buttonups. Button ups.
I'll work on my enunciation.
Button ups. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the link to the Halloween cheat sheets one more time so you guys can grab them. But you guys are good to start asking questions. We're sorry that we couldn't screen share anything with you, but head over to target.com, go in the top left corner to their trending section and explore a little bit. And a lot of what we've talked about will be on the cheat sheets for you to explore. So invitations to murder mystery dinner or crime scene parties? Yes, absolutely. Those are trending. So invitations to them, those are awesome ideas. Let's see. Eek, spiders. Let's see. And it was probably made in a sweatshop of kids knowing big corporations. Yeah, probably.
Yep.
That's Target.
Same thing with clothing. That's why I'm kind of over buying clothing that I know is like made in Portugal or made in, you know, Thailand, made in China, in some nasty shop with like little kids and stuff. I'm slowly but surely, eventually I'll consume only products that are made ethically. That's the goal.
Yeah, he's big like with my clothes, because that's not something I think about. I'm just like, oh,
Most people don't. You
I
know?
got this for $8.99. What a deal. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, some little kids in a sweatshop probably made that. And then I like look at myself, I'm like, I feel bad now.
I'm not that guy that just like tries to beat people up for their purchasing decisions.
I feel depressed now.
I scour thrift stores for ethically made clothing. Yeah, you have to, right? I mean, thrifting is probably one of the best things you can do. I like thrifting for like all of my suits. I don't think I own a suit that was like not pre-owned from somebody else at this point, but they're all nice.
Kristen, do you think it's worth to release one Halloween item if I don't have time to do a whole collection?
Why not?
I mean, just do it soon.
Yeah.
And market the crap out of it. But if you can't do a whole collection, just do one. Make it like exclusive. Oh, limited. Make like a limited quantity of it. Even if you do digital, only list a limited number to make it kind of scarce, and market it nonstop for the next few months. Let's see. Too many things are made in China and everyone keeps buying it. Yeah, well, we've kind of hit this point in our culture where we just don't read. Like, you know that as sellers, you know that your customers don't read. So, and most people, I mean, there's so many things made in China that we do need, that we have like a necessity for, things that we can't control, like the packaging that a product that we need is packaged in. There's just so many little things, and it gets really hard.
Yeah,
So,
it's up to us, you know, to like incentivize corporations to want to do business here in our country and make things here and pay people good money to do it, as opposed to paying for cheap labor to mass produce stuff and then try to churn more of a profit, right? Like at the end of the day, you want to make money, but you also want to do it in a way that makes you go to sleep at night without like the grief, the fears, and the anxiety and the disgust from like how you actually arrived at it, right? So,
and we're not like against any of our alphas in China.
no.
We are talking specifically about the shops that make, you know, just cheap junk, or the companies that make this cheap junk because labor costs are so cheap.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it takes you buying something handmade or something vintage to be able to appreciate what goes into a product, as opposed to just being able to pull something off of a shelf because you decided that you wanted it, right? There's a lot more thought that goes into it. And I feel like there's more ownership in it too, right? Like when somebody builds a product with their bare hands, it's theirs, right? It's like it's your baby in a way. So I feel like there's a lot more care and love that goes into it. I mean, I'm a guitar player. Think about buying a crappy Chinese made guitar for like $200 versus buying a made in America guitar from Gibson that's like $4,000 to $6,000, right?
I like to think of it like this: is if you had those two guitars and you were to leave a bad review on the Chinese guitar, would the seller feel anything in their heart, or would the person who actually like made a guitar by hand, listed it, and sold it, who would feel the most like hurt personally?
Oh yeah, for sure.
By someone criticizing the design. That Chinese company, they don't care. They
Well,
didn't make it. It's
and
a machine made
And
it.
again, a lot of times what you're paying for in that price is somebody else took the time to make that product. It wasn't just something built with a machine. It took bare hands and a lot of somebody's actual time and energy to like craft it, right? So you're paying for the product, you're paying for the design of the product, you're paying for someone else's brilliance essentially when you're buying something. And I honestly really like buying products that are handmade because I appreciate the brilliance that it took for that person to be able to put into like the product, what they did to make it be what it is. Just like with Starla and her keys, you can't find those anywhere else, right? It's like her own thing.
And I think that since you've been working with us, I think that your view on like handmade on Etsy has changed a lot, because he didn't know a whole lot about Etsy. Like and I think that you had this perception that it was like more, I don't know, like craft type thing.
Yeah,
like
I thought it was crafty. It's ignorance, right? Like I never did a whole lot of shopping on Etsy or anything like that. And it took me really getting to know some of you to really appreciate the amount of time and energy it takes to do the things that you guys do. And I honestly feel like consumers need to do a better job of appreciating the differences between purchasing something on the internet that was mass produced in China versus buying something from somebody, right? Because essentially when you're buying through an Etsy store, you're not buying something from a shop, you're buying something from you. And that personal like bond that comes with that's a part of it too, because it's like when you have something that's made by somebody else, there's a lot more, I don't know, there's like more special. There's
they
more
think
special
about it. Like
there's more special feeling that goes along with it, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. And when you guys make a sale, like you think about it. You think about how someone's going to feel. I hope that they like it. Like you stress out about it. Big companies don't do that. They don't stress as to whether.
They don't care. They don't give a damn about what you think or what your feeling is, right? They care about a bottom line dollar. You guys have to care about making money too. You can't run a successful business if you don't care about profit. But you can also care about the people that you're trying to sell your products to, and just the same way that I hope that you care just as much about your product as you do your customer. Both are equally as important.
Amber asked if both of our parcels arrived. Yes, the unboxing video. I know you guys have been waiting on it. We upgraded to a different video editing software that Nate was very accustomed to for like screen captured videos. but recording and editing a video where we're actually on camera is very different. These videos are already our longest for me to edit personally. Now we're handing this editing off to him, so he's having to learn a new program, learn how to edit a new style of video, and how to edit it to be funny, because these videos, without the funny parts that we add in them, they're not funny. They're not very entertaining, and they're way too long. We have to make them funny. So what we're doing that's new for our unboxing video this round is they're going to be shorter. We're going to cut out a lot of the time, because that's our biggest complaint from Alphas, is that these videos are way too long. You spend way too much time on the product. So we're going to give you, I mean, it's going to be less screen time for you guys, but more people are going to watch it, because more people are going to want to click on it rather than an hour-long video. And then you guys, ultimately, your shops that we feature get more exposure in the long run. So don't think of it as less screen time for you. Think of it as more viewers for you. And this video, I think we're going to do it as a two-part, because I think we had, what, like 14 packages?
We had a lot of packages because we have a lot of great people out there that are awesome and want to send us their stuff so we can check it out. I'll tell you this too, you know, we're working on the back end stuff, but we're really like interested in hearing from you as to like what you think we could be doing better to like serve you better. So, you know, we try and take an hour or so out of every week to just sit and hang out with you guys and chat about really important topics that are all related to Etsy and your Etsy stores. I'm kind of curious as to, like, you know, we've been doing this for a while. What can we be doing differently? What more do you guys want? What would you like to see? What would be of most benefit to you week over week, tuning back in every single time, even if you catch a replay? What are the things that you would like us to start talking about? That way we make sure that these are like the very best bits of information that you can get. You know, I like to sit and have fun and hang out and joke. I also think it would be really good for us to be productive and like try to share good insights with you, which is what we do. And we spend a lot, she spends a lot of time brainstorming on what it is that you guys are struggling with. What kind of challenges are you facing? So continue to reach out to us by email. My email is marketing@handmadealphaacademy.com. You can reach me there. Any of your questions you have related to your shop, I'll be sure to get in there and take a look for you. But I would really like to see some comments down below right now. Let us know what are some of those big things that you guys are either struggling with. What are some things that you've seen other people do with live streams that you would like to see us do? Any sort of feedback that you have, because we really want to make these like the best hour-long sessions that you're going to find on the internet for you. And we can't do that without that good feedback.
Right. And we always get the comments in the replay that, oh, it's too long, there's too much banter. But keep in mind that we tune in live so we can interact live with you guys. But what we would like to ultimately see is more people showing up live, because we've been kind of at a standstill because we've got 181 people here right now. We've been at a bit of a standstill around that 180 people now for several months. And we would like to see those numbers increase a little bit. So if it's shorter content, we can decrease the time that we stream live, or we can just start focusing on, you know, we'll still do lives, but also more edited content. So Jen asked, do you have a suggested tutorial for printable downloads, like from your cheat sheet? I'm a little confused. Do you have a suggested tutorial for printable downloads? Do you mean like creating printable?
Creating them, or how to go through and access them and download them?
Let us know. Yeah, if it's creating them, I did it in Canva and it was free. Let's see. Trying to I like Etsy's most recent commercial, but I wish they hadn't emphasized belongings more than the shops. I haven't seen that, but it's something that I will definitely look up. Hi, John. Slow fashion is meant to last years.
Yeah, Richard, a Gibson Les Paul. Yeah, man. So, you know, it's materials, it's the time spent on crafting it. It's also the name Gibson. Like, that has a lot of weight behind it. You know, imagine if a company that's been around for 100+ years and has innovated music throughout multiple genres suddenly started mass producing these really crappy Chinese made guitars, right? It would not work.
My biggest two things I like is social media and packaging. So social media is obviously going to be a big one. And keep in mind, guys, we are mostly Etsy. So it's hard when we're requested to get into like crazy analytics for things like, you know, social media because we try to stick to Etsy. As long as Etsy is the primary focus, like that's what I care about. And packaging, which is huge. Playlist, please. Not necessarily a topic, but I want to binge watch, and all the videos when play all are in backwards orders. We do have a lot of playlists. I'm just not very good at, once we finish a live, going in and adding it into a playlist. So
we can do that.
Organize the playlist better.
We can do that. That's a good one. We'll get on it.
Let's see. Oop, lost them. Let's see. Suggestions for people with very particular niche. That would be a good one.
That's a very good one. Elba.
How are you, Starla? I am wonderful, John. Let's see. I like the longer videos and banter. It's actually like hanging out with you guys. I'm lucky if I can usually watch his on my lunch break at work if I work Fridays.
Well, even if you can't catch it live, you can still tune back in later. And then, you know, one of the things that I think is really cool is we get a lot of really good feedback from you guys. Like, I've been on several live streams with other brands where it's really hard to get people to give good feedback. And I feel like you guys do a good job of just saying what needs to be said. You don't kind of like mince words or anything like that. It's really helpful. Because it's all about helping you, right?
And they're not just spamming the chat to be like obnoxious like you see on a lot of live streams.
No, it's just a lot of really mature adults, which is fantastic.
Alicia, Starla, have you heard much about any alphas using Amazon Handmade as a platform? I've been considering expanding platforms, but the reviews I'm finding make me want to run the other direction. So here's the thing. I sold on Handmade at Amazon. I put in the application when they were like kind of in beta, and I was accepted. And I did not find a lot of success with it. I will be perfectly honest. I hear that now it's kind of a hassle to even get started there. And I'm never going to be able to give you guys good advice for it because it's not something I currently do. And I only teach you guys things that I've done, personal experiences, things that I know to be true because I've tested it or I've researched it. So when it comes to Handmade at Amazon, personally, I haven't been hearing a lot of great things as of recently. Always remember that Etsy was the first handmade platform. Therefore, it will always be the most popular. Same with me hearing about what AC Moore, is that the
AC Moore,
and Zibbit, is that the other one? I keep hearing everyone's asking me about those. I'm like, I'm not moving. Etsy is a solid foundation. It's been around for a long time. It's like every time a new social media platform pops up and everyone's like, oh, this is going to be the new Facebook. There will never be a new Facebook. Facebook will always be Facebook.
Now, in the way that things are going now, it'll be really hard for startup social medias to get any sort of traction because the marriage between Google and Facebook, who owns Instagram, WhatsApp, there's several things that Facebook has acquired. It's going to be very hard for another platform to ever grow the way that Facebook did. MySpace really had one shot at being the big one, and they actually had a chance to buy Facebook, and they turned it down, and then Facebook crushed them, and now they don't exist.
Let's see. Lots of good suggestions, more one of a kind. Most people say they prefer the longer sessions, but they like the idea of shortening the unboxings.
Well, shortening the unboxings, and maybe if we tried to pull out some, because one thing that I like seeing is like if like Joe Rogan does it on his podcast. He'll have these really long 2-hour sessions every day. Then once a week he goes through and pulls out and makes a 5-minute video with just the best clips. It might be good for those of you watching a replay for us to go through and pull out maybe a couple of the quick, real good points that we came up with during a Q&A session, put that in its own little video and throw that up as like a secondary. So as you're kind of watching
highlights, if you just want
to catch the highlights reel, it's there for you.
You guys let us know what you think about that, just doing some highlights from Q&As.
Yeah, because we don't want to do anything that like you guys are just like, well, no, that's kind of like,
and if we see that there's no views on it, we'll stop doing it, basically.
And remember, we're human beings too, and we have just as many hours in the day as you do, so we need to make sure we're like spending that time as wisely as possible.
Right. And if we get 1 million people who say that they like it, but the video only gets like 50 views, then we will stop doing it. Yelissa, tell your kiddo I said hi, and look what I'm wearing today because we're doing fall trends. These are by Yelissa at Serenity by Yelly. She's one of our students, and you should go Google Serenity by Yelly and find her.
Oh, there's Brittany.
Let's see. Someone's phone is vibrating the mic.
My bad.
It's not the mic either. It's my camera phone because yeah.
She also has a phone without a camera, if you can believe it.
Me? No, I don't.
That was a lie.
No, I don't. Let's see. I'd like to hear more things that a handmade business might need, like insurance or software. Like, will I get sued if someone's pet or kid eats a part of my wreath? The thing is that's hard about those is we are not qualified to give advice like that. We might be able to find a guest who could speak on behalf, but we try to not get legal advice for the same reason that you're asking us for advice. We don't want to give you advice and it be wrong and us get sued because we told you that it's okay for someone's dog or kid to eat a part of your wreath. So
I will say that Etsy, if you're talking specifically there, they have guidelines that you can follow, and obviously they have protections in place for everybody that sells on their platform, so nothing crazy is going to happen like that.
Color psychology.
She's working on that right now.
Color psychology. Let's see. I just finished watching the interview with you before the stream started. It was so informative. Oh yeah, that was for Amber Marie.
Yeah.
I love guests. Lots of people like guests. Quick question. I know I can't list anything related to brands and movies, but can I, for example, make a Deathly Hallow sign and list it with that name? Okay, so guys, here's the only thing I'm going to say about like Harry Potter things and trademarks and stuff. You cannot list items on Etsy with any Harry Potter related terms. You can, and this is the only Harry Potter item that I know of that you can create without getting in trouble, and that's why it's so popular. You can create a product with the Deathly Hallows symbol because you cannot copyright or trademark. You cannot trademark a geometric shape. It consists of a triangle, a line, and a circle. That cannot be trademarked.
Yep.
But you cannot pair it with anything like an owl or anything that may connect to Harry Potter. And you cannot make the product tags or titles be Harry Potter, okay? So I've done it because my audience knew what it was, but you almost have to decide if it's worth it. I did a lot of research before doing it for that reason. But because a geometric shape can't be trademarked, you're fine. But it would be like the only product that you could do unless you just did like owl, another owl product and maybe another, I don't know, just a snake product. Let's see. Can I use craft paper at the craft store for my products, or is that stealing because I didn't create the design? As long as no, you got to have supplies to make the product as long as it's a supply and you're not just selling the craft paper. Shipping examples for odd sized products and how to save on shipping. My suggestion for that is to just take your product packaged into the post office and put it on the scale and say, what would be the most efficient way for me to ship this? And tell them that you're not going in to buy, you're just going in to check prices, and they'll usually work with you and help you to find it. Just do it during hours when they're not super busy. Let's see. I would love to see a video about being an Etsy-preneur with mental health issues. Shayla, go watch our how to, what's it called? Running a business with anxiety, I believe, is what it's called. When Mark talks about PTSD and I talk about anxiety a little bit, that might be one to watch. It's hard for us to weigh in on things like that, though, when it's very subjective depending on the type of mental illness. Yeah. So if I can say, you know, me coming in with just anxiety, which I don't really consider a mental illness, especially since I'm pretty good at regulating it, and Mark's, you know, his problems, that doesn't mean that we can help with other problems like maybe, you know, like severe depression. And I wouldn't want to try to give like a Band-Aid suggestion to everybody that couldn't apply to all of the problems that are out there. So it's kind of a touchy subject, and then people might get mad if I say something that's incorrect. So all right. Joe Rogan or H3. We watch a lot of H3. He
Yeah.
watches a lot of Joe Rogan.
I'm a huge Joe Rogan buff, man. I've been watching him since like he was doing UFC commentating back in the early 2000s when he just got started into it.
Can I tag name it Deathly Hollows? No, you can't put anything. And someone said I had a Deathly Hollow symbol on a mug and they took it down, probably because it was in your tags or titles. They can't take it down. You can Google it. You can find the exact reason why, but maybe it's just best not to. Like, maybe that's like, maybe it's one of those things where you just shouldn't, because, you know, if people are still getting taken down for it, it's probably a good indication that it's not a good idea. I did it quite a while ago. It was a long time ago, and I did a lot of research before I did it. And nothing happened to me, but that's not to say that things with Etsy haven't changed. That's not to say that things with, who does Warner Brothers? Yeah. That's not to say that things with Warner Brothers haven't.
Warner Brothers are the worst, man. They're notorious for going through YouTube and trying to pull down people's videos, saying that they were like using their copyrighted material, even though the Fair Use Act like totally allows people to use up to, I believe, 30 seconds worth of actual like filmed footage from another company. But all the time you'll see Warner Brothers left and right trying to nickel and dime people. If they can't pull the videos down, they'll at least take the advertising away from you. So it's just like, just ignore it. Disney, exactly, Heather. Disney is like that too. These large multimedia companies, they are notoriously bad at just going after any and everyone.
Or good.
Notoriously good.
They're good
at being bad, and you know, going after you for even the dumbest stuff. Again, like the Fair Use Act, you can put there. Just Google that into YouTube or search that into YouTube, and you'll find tons of YouTubers making complaint videos saying Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Disney, all the major ones. Like if they can't pull your video down, they're at least going to strip you of your advertisement rights.
Yeah.
And then you won't be able to make any money off of your content. So just avoid it.
I see a lot of listings using keywords related to trademark brands inspired by blank. You can't do that. No, you cannot. You cannot do that. Inspired by is not like the magic words to protect you. So I think that we've got well, first of all, I'm not a ginger. Second of all, we're just gonna go ahead and
that one.
This one. We're getting a lot of good comments today. Aren't these great? All right, guys, let's see. What about items based on, say, classic books that are in the public domain? That's fine. Original Alice in Wonderland is fine. I did an Alice in Wonderland collection, as long as you're not doing the Disney Alice in Wonderland. So things like that are fine because they're in the public domain. Public domain is fine. What's up with 3 people giving thumbs down on this live video? Oh, 3 is a very low number. And guess what? We still get little boosts for thumbs ups and thumbs downs. It doesn't matter if it's up or down. So we actually appreciate it regardless. Let's see. I had read something that licensing applies to the manufacturer, not the end user. Is that true? No, that's not true. It can be true in the case of some fabrics, but you would probably, it's one of those things where if you were taken to court, is it worth your time? Is it worth your money? Is it worth you getting a lawyer? Is it worth it to you? Do you want to do that? Because you could try, but at the same time, if you get in trouble, there's a lot that you have to deal with. Are you prepared to deal with that? And if the answer is no, then just don't deal with it. That would be my thing. Okay, we're getting really deep into all the trademark stuff, guys. I am not an expert on this. Please go join, I think it's Joey's Friends. It used to be Friends of Indie Law. Go join that group on Facebook if you have any questions. That group is amazing. He's a lawyer. He can answer your questions, because all these, like, what about this? What about this? What about this? A lot of these I don't know. What about upcycled, resewn, repurposed things using trademark characters? Probably still not okay. So most of these cases are if you didn't create the character, it's not okay. But I want to go ahead and end on that note. Let's see. So I make graphic bodysuits and I'll use Gerber brand. Am I okay calling them a onesie? No. You cannot list it as a onesie. It'll automatically like be taken down. You cannot, onesie is Gerber's term. You can't use the term onesie.
Same thing for Snuggie. Can't use the term Snuggie, even if you make something that looks like a Snuggie but isn't.
Yeah, I know somebody who got dinged
for onesie. Yep.
All right, guys. We've been on for about an hour. I'm actually going to, ooh, this is a terrible shot. I'm going to delete our last two like vacant streams. If you guys see anybody in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community saying, oh, I clicked on the link in my email and it didn't take me anywhere, maybe just shoot them to the link to this video if for any reason that we, don't see it. This was our first big tech error, but we appreciate all of you for hanging out with us and having some fun regardless. Don't forget, down below, links to the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, which is free to join, links to my free cheat sheets, which you can steal and begin using today.
Yeah, links are in the description.
And big thank you to Mark, who tried his very hardest to fix our stream today, but YouTube has changed everything, so we'll have to get that figured out before next Friday.
Yeah, and I promise we will not have as many technical issues. This literally happened today, so everyone make sure to send Mark a nice note and tell him he's a great guy because he did everything he could. And
yeah.
We still made it happen for you.
We still made it happen. All right, and now here's the challenging part. How do we end?
You lift it up, and then you click end.
Where's that? Oh, bye!
Bye!
Wait.